So we're here again at Intersolar, and now I want to take another look at some inverters and storage systems, also from newer companies or manufacturers. Right now, I have one in mind, that's Solavita. And I just want to see if I can find someone who can explain a few things to us, because there are some very interesting systems here. So here we already have someone.
Hello, I'm Nick. I'm an employee of the Solavita team. We are a subsidiary of Skywars company.
Hello, Nick. So I'm a YouTuber. And we're actually always looking for new systems for photovoltaic installations, inverters, storage systems, or basically anything that's important for the average home user. You guys also have some nice systems here. What can you show us here, for example, and especially what new things do you have to present here at the trade fair?
Here is our product, the high-phase, high-voltage system for German families.
Three-phase inverter, that means we have a kind of inverter here, and this one is also compatible with a battery storage system. Is the system available in different sizes? Can you have just one inverter? Can it be combined with batteries? What kinds of systems are there? What kinds of setups are available?
Yes, of course. We have hybrid inverters ranging from 8 kilowatts to 15 kilowatts. And this is our high voltage battery. Each battery module is 2.56 kilowatt hours. I think for a typical German family, 10 plus 10 or 12 plus 15 kilowatt hours is very good for a German family.
I have an important question about that because I have already installed photovoltaic systems myself. Usually that's how it is with us Germans. We first buy a small system to save money, and then after a while we want more. That means you want to expand the system. How does that work? Can you later expand the system, add photovoltaic modules, or change the inverter size or swap them? Most importantly, can you expand the battery modules later and add more?
Yes, we can expand the system because we designed it ourselves. That means more and more German families now want to expand the battery. We have two inputs, and if one input for the inverter is not enough, then we make a second one for the system.
So we can expand the system as needed. What's the current standard configuration? I'm not sure if you mentioned it already. How many storage units are in the output? What are the smallest and largest storage sizes?
Our system for home use ranges from 10 kilowatt hours to 20 kilowatt hours.
So that means it's basically optimal for the home user. What I can see right behind you now also concerns me. I have an electric car. Notice the wall box there. I have some questions about it too. This wall box is probably integrated into the system. That means we can certainly use this wall box to enable surplus charging.
That's our wall box, and we can control it through the app when it's connected to our system.
So we have a direct integration into the system here, an app control. Of course, I see many other interesting things here, like this one. Let's just walk around here. I've also seen some nice photovoltaic panels here with you. Here's a photovoltaic panel. You can see the most important data at a glance here. And here's my question right away. What kind of photovoltaic panels are these? Who is the manufacturer, especially of this photovoltaic panel?
Here is our own photovoltaic system, construction system. We have our own panel factory. That means we produce them ourselves.
That means we're basically getting everything from a single source now. We can order the inverter from you. We can get the batteries, the wall box, and of course the photovoltaic panels from you as well, all from a single source.
Yes, and also our mounting system. We don't just have an inverter factory, but also panel and mounting system factories. So you can get a very affordable package.
That means everything is delivered from a single source. And very important, I also have something really interesting for you later. I'll probably put that in a second video. We'll open the inverter for you later, and you can take a closer look at it from the inside as well. Then, of course, the most important question. We've now seen this great system. Where can we get the system from? In other words, who will install the system?
Now we're working together with a few local German installers. We're working with German installers.
That means, of course, you can buy the system from a single source. That means the photovoltaic modules, the system, and of course the installation. If you're interested in the system, just check the video description below. I'll link the sources for you there. So another question will probably come up. Who is Solavita anyway? Can you tell us now what kind of company this is, or in which areas they actually operate?
Solavita is a subsidiary of Skywars company. That means we don't just have inverters, but also televisions, refrigerators, washing machines, heat pumps, and even cars. That means later on, we want to combine it with smart home and home management systems.
That means there is still an exciting future to look forward to here. That means we will probably get a lot more smart home integrations of various devices here, which will of course also come from a single manufacturer. This lets you control the television, washing machine, or any smart home appliances. And of course, you can also explicitly send energy to the device or monitor the device. If the device needs any energy, the inverter can provide it directly. This way, you save electricity and have a higher efficiency of the system. This is especially true now that we have the television hanging here. More expansions are expected in the future. You can monitor, control, manage everything, and check electricity used directly on the television. And of course, planning is also very important here. For example, if you're doing laundry or programming your dishwasher, you can of course program it later with this system. If there's a surplus, the dishwasher is programmed and will automatically start, as will the washing machine, when enough electricity is available. At this point, another key point is that many inverters and systems like yours can now be cloud controlled. But it's also important to mention here what happens if the cloud goes down. If you don't have an internet connection or can't access the app for any reason, of course, we can also control the system directly at the inverter here. That means we have a nice large display here. The system isn't currently connected here for demonstration purposes. That's why we have 2 error messages, but you can see them on the display. We can track our power flow here. We can see the battery's state of charge. We can see whether energy is being supplied to the grid or to the house. And of course, we can also configure and control the system here through the menu. And naturally, we can also extract all important information and data from the system offline. And this way, we also have full control over the system when it's offline. That means without the internet and without the cloud. And since we're on the topic of offline, of course, the question arises, what happens if, for example, we have a power outage? Here you can see the bottom of an inverter. For example, it has 3 MPPTs, so we can connect 3 strings. Here is the output to the batteries, and things get especially interesting over here. Here you can see our grid connection. It's just connected here as an example, but we also have a corresponding off-grid connection here. That means in an emergency, we can operate additional backup devices here. For example, if you have a refrigerator, any sensitive infrastructure, Fritzbox, router, server, I would connect all of that here. Here we can pull out a separate power connection that always works when we get energy from the photovoltaic modules or when the battery is charged. This way, the system can continue to supply your house or the most important devices if, for example, we have a power outage. Here's another interesting connection option with this inverter, because with this system, there's also the option to connect it to a generator, which means you can power or charge the system using a generator. That's only for the most extreme situations. But this way, you can also keep things running during a power outage for a longer period of time, for example, with a diesel or gasoline generator, and keep the key devices running here.
Mark, we're still looking for installers.
That's a good topic. I'd also like to appeal to my viewers now. If you have an electrical company or are installers and are interested in the system, check the video description below. I'll add a link for you. There you'll find more information on how you can get in touch directly with Solavita and how you can offer and install the systems accordingly. So at this point, I'd like to thank Nick again for the information you've given us here. As I said, if you're interested in the system, check below. At this point, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, Mark.
We'll look around your booth for a bit and you'll see that in the next video.
I have a, what do you call it in German again? It's, come on, a lightning rod.
And these are main switches.
And for safety and to shut everything down in case of emergency.
It's not a bad idea.